The assassination that sparks global war. The beginning of World War III. Alois Irlmaier's prophecies move from the deceptive calm of prosperity directly into an eruption of world-altering violence, beginning not with an invasion or declaration, but with a single political assassination. This is the match that sets the entire world ablaze. Irlmaier was extremely precise about this event. He described it multiple times in the exact same way. He saw two men, unknown to the victim, who had been paid by outside forces, international agents, not lone actors. These two men carry out the murder of a high-ranking political leader. One of the assassins is a small black man. The other is a somewhat taller man with light-colored or blonde hair. They do not act alone. They are not ideologically driven. They are hired killers. Irlmaier says this clearly and without any metaphor. They were paid to do it. He saw that the murder takes place in the Balkans, though he sometimes added that it could be in Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia. Regardless of exact location, this is the event. Not the symbolic beginning of war, but the literal and direct cause of World War III. Irlmaier described that immediately after the assassination, a bloody dagger is seen lying next to the body of the murdered politician. The blood on the blade is visible. It is not a metaphor. It is a real knife, with real blood. The entire incident is carried out in public, and its news spreads instantly across Europe. As this news breaks, a panic spreads globally. Irlmaier heard people shouting for peace. He specifically heard the word shalom repeated. This word, meaning peace in Hebrew, is shouted by the public, by politicians, by journalists, all crying for de-escalation. Yet it is too late. Everyone shouts peace, peace. But then it happens. And these are Irlmaier's exact words. Almost immediately a war flares up in the Middle East. Naval powers, including the United States and its Western allies, rapidly mobilize. Warships confront each other in the Mediterranean Sea. Tensions rise to critical levels, and soon these naval forces engage in real hostilities. The Mediterranean becomes a theater of war. But Irlmaier is clear. This is not the spark, it is the smoke. The real explosion begins in Eastern Europe, following the assassination. He repeatedly states, the real ignition spark is thrown into the powder keg in the Balkans. And from this moment, events unfold with incredible speed. Irlmaier described the war's start in exact detail. It begins suddenly, with no formal declaration. It happens at sunrise during a rainy night, at the end of the harvest season. It is well into the year, possibly late summer or early autumn. The fields are full. The ears of grain are heavy. There is no preparation. Civilians are unaware. Military forces are unprepared. There is no time to evacuate, no time to retreat. Irlmaier saw the German people still sitting in pubs, drinking and playing cards, unaware of the storm about to break. Then suddenly black-clad soldiers are at the windows and doors. These are enemy forces, specifically Russian soldiers, although Irlmaier called them the Eastern Army, or the Grey Hordes. He describes their attack as lightning fast, highly coordinated, and executed by 3 armored spearheads. The first armored column advances from the east, through Bohemia, moving toward Regensburg, along the Danube River, and toward the Swiss border. The second column moves through Saxony, heading west directly into Germany, targeting the Ruhr industrial region. The third spearhead comes from the northeast, advancing through Berlin, also aiming for western industrial zones. Irlmaier does not use symbolic language. He names the cities. He names the regions. He draws the lines of advance. These are real tanks, real military units, real geographical movements. The speed of the Russian invasion is unmatched. Civilians are caught completely off guard. People flood the roads trying to escape. Vehicles jam the highways. Entire families are stranded. He says many would have survived if they had not taken the main roads. Highways are soon overrun by advancing tanks. Those caught in traffic are crushed or destroyed. Irlmaier says plainly, if only they had stayed home or taken the small roads. The Eastern Army pushes into Germany. Frankfurt is destroyed. The Rhine Valley is devastated, especially by air bombardment. Nuremberg is damaged. He sees columns of civilians fleeing westward. Refugees pour across towns and fields. The chaos is total. He describes bridges being destroyed, particularly those over the Danube, cutting off retreat and escape. Electricity fails. Communications are cut. Entire towns are isolated. Meanwhile, in the skies, he sees airplanes crashing, shot down, exploding mid-air, and falling in flames into cities and countryside. The entire front becomes a death zone. The attack happens so fast that entire cities fall within hours, not days. Defenders are overrun before orders can be given. Irlmaier also describes another mysterious vision during this stage. He sees 3 numbers, 2 8s and a 9. He does not understand what these numbers mean, but they appear at the time of the attack. He does not speculate. He only says what he saw. I see dust and I see 3 numbers, 8, 8, and 9. This is the literal beginning of World War III. It is not symbolic. It is a clear timeline of events. 1. A high-ranking political figure is assassinated in the Balkans by 2 paid killers. 2. Calls for peace are drowned by a Middle East war, naval engagements in the Mediterranean, and growing regional instability. 3. The actual invasion begins without warning at sunrise during a rainy harvest night and is led by Russian armored divisions. 4. The invasion is supported by air attacks, civilian massacres, infrastructure collapse, and massive civilian flight. This is not the midpoint of the war. This is its very beginning. From this point onward, the world descends into the most brutal and sudden conflict in modern history.